This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 2 more firearms found at Stadium East. The police have seized 2 more firearms at the Stadium East field in St. Andrew. The police say an AK-47 rifle and a Remington shotgun were found on Wednesday. These bring to 10 the number of firearms seized since a special operation began on Sunday, when 1 shotgun, 1 AK-47 rifle, and 1 Uzi submachine gun were found. 50 rounds of ammunition were also seized. On Monday, a further 5 weapons were found, including 3 high-powered rifles. 2 magazines and 60 cartridges were also unearthed. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzbailey has said the operation is part of the police anti-gang initiative. Holness urges banks not to increase fees at this time. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has cautioned the banking sector against increasing service fees amid a public outcry following the announcement by the National Commercial Bank and the Scotiabank that they will hike fees. Speaking Tuesday evening at the opening ceremony of the Jamaica Stock Exchange 17th Regional Investments and the Capital Markets Conference, the Prime Minister asserted that financial institutions must be cognizant of the difficulties that citizens face, especially since the pandemic. The Prime Minister said while Jamaica is trying to transition out of the health crisis and the related measures, banks should be aware that Jamaicans are experiencing significant financial difficulties. He told business leaders who were present that it would be morally wrong to increase banking fees and other charges at this time, given that the society is still reeling from the economic fallout from the pandemic.
And it is not just a pandemic of a threat of a virus. Persons whose income disappeared or was significantly reduced still have mortgages piling up on them, still have credit card bills that they didn't or were not able to pay. Children are now going back to school, so fees are now coming back in. Bus fares and lunch money have to be paid. And then they have to now hear about increases in bank fees. I repeat, this great potential economy that we have exists in a social context. And the leaders of the economy must pay close attention to the social context.
Among the new fees, the National Commercial Bank says customers will pay $30.95 to withdraw cash at their ATMs. The service had previously been free. Withdrawals at multi-link ATMs will cost customers $60. NCB is also charging $500 for international withdrawals using its Visa debit card. Physical or electronic bank statements will now attract a fee of $500, while balance enquiries will cost $296.14 per account. NCB provides a balance enquiry free for the first 4 times each month, after which it will cost $25 each. Effective February 1, Scotiabank's customers will have to pay $25 to withdraw cash from its ATMs and $60 at multi-link ATMs. International withdrawals will cost $312. 7 arrested in connection with a gun find in Grandville. 7 people have been arrested following the seizure of 3 illegal firearms on Artwell Drive in Granville, St. James. The police say an M16 rifle, 2 pistols, and several rounds of ammunition were discovered on Wednesday. A bulletproof vest and several vehicle registration plates were also found. Morrison optimistic compounds found in hemp could prevent COVID-19. Consultant physician and biomedical researcher Professor Errol Morrison is optimistic that 2 compounds found in hemp, cannabiolic acid and cannabigerolic acid, could block COVID-19 from entering human cells. In the study conducted by a team at Oregon State University in the United States, different extracts from the natural products were tested to see if any of the compounds in them stuck to the spike protein on the COVID-19 virus. The compounds CBDA and CBGA stuck to the spike proteins.
What is happening is it attaches to the spike protein and blocks it, right? Blocks the virus from entering the cell. And what is of interest is that they have been looking not only at the original SARS-CoV-2, which is a COVID-19, but also these variants, okay, including even the Omicron. So, it seems to have a potential here. It is only going to assist, in reducing the adverse conditions of the viral infection. Mm-hmm. It is not curing anything as far as we know at this point. It is assisting. So it still must work in conjunction with the other things that we have available, including even some of these new pills that are coming on the market in short order.
Pregnant woman among 3 injured in spur tree crash. A pregnant woman is said to be among 3 people injured in a 2-vehicle crash on the Spur Tree Hill Main Road on Wednesday. Police reports are that about 4 p.m., the driver of a tractor-trailer lost the control of the unit while traveling downhill. The pregnant woman, who is said to have been a passenger in the heavy unit, jumped from the out-of-control vehicle before it collided with a motor car. The impact resulted in both vehicles going off-road into a precipice. The driver of the tractor-trailer and the driver of the motor car were removed from their vehicles by passers-by. The 3 injured people were rushed to the hospital, where they have been admitted. Gangsters kill couple, burn house on their first date night. The mystery woman that 26-year-old Jermaine Bryan died huddled against was the one he had just months before told a relative was in love with him. The relative never got the opportunity to meet Cardella Walker, who was the 25-year-old bartender who died alongside him as on what would be the couple's first night together at Bryan's home in New Nursery, St. Catherine, in September of 2017. Marauding gunmen, allegedly members of the Klansman gang, kicked in the gate and door to the wooden dwelling, sprayed them with bullets, and set the structure ablaze. Some months before he died, he said to me, "Somebody love him," and I said to him, "What about your baby mother?" And he said, "She's okay, but a girl love him." The relative testified Wednesday during the ongoing trial of 33 alleged members of the gang at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. She said she last spoke to the young man on Friday before he was killed. A relative of Walker told the court Wednesday that she also had what would be the last conversation with the young woman on the Friday before she died. According to the witness, she had no idea that Walker, who had a child, was seeing anyone. She said when the young woman failed to return home that night, as she normally did, she tried calling her, but her phone goes straight to voicemail. The distressed relative told the court that she didn't go to the police until the Monday, as she was hoping Walker would come home, as she would have come home every night. When she eventually went, it was to tell the police that she had heard that my relative is dead, she told the court in a voice constricted by pain. Responding to queries from the prosecutor leading the evidence, the relative, clearly struggling to retain her composure at times, shuddered with the force of her emotions, closing her eyes momentarily at points, at one time bowing her head and clutching at her hands. She gave way to tears when asked if she had looked at her relative's body at the funeral. "I don't think I could look at the charred remains. The casket was closed," she told the court. The Crown, in opening its case on September 20 last year, said that event, which is reflected in Counts 7 and 8 on the 25-count indictment, were part of the crimes committed between 2015 and 2019 attributable to the gang. The prosecutors, in reference to the evidence to come of the double murder at that time, said the incident was demonstrative of the gruesome manner in which this gang operated. This act was said to be carried out by the accused Andre Blackman Bryan, alleged leader and co-accused Fabian Johnson, Dylan McLean, Brian Morris, Michael Whiteley, Tariq James, and Jazeel Blake. Earlier Wednesday, when the court was shown close-up photos of what remained of the 2 citizens, which amounted to little more than skulls, and what appeared to be the burnt torsos of the 2, Bryan burst into maniacal laughter, bending down and holding his head. One other accused looked towards the reporters with raised eyebrows, a smug smile spilling from behind his mask, while others chuckled. A detective corporal, who is also a forensic crime scene investigator, being led through the photographic evidence, showed several spent casings amongst the charred remains of the couple and the debris. The detective corporal, who began giving his evidence on Tuesday, had said investigators were able to discern breast and the public parts of a male in the rubble, leading them to conclude that the victims were male and female. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.